Ai te iwi, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Or should I say, tātou katoa. That means me too, all of us. Nau mai ki tēnei hotaka te kau, o whātekau mā pā, 44. Yes, we're getting up there. Next thing you know, it'll be rewa te kau. Just, in a matter of a week. Yeah, it goes from one to the other extreme. So, this is my library, number 44, coming, and it's big, coming to you from Aotearoa, New Zealand. Now, if you don't know New Zealand, I'm from a little city called Tamaki Makaurau, which is Auckland. And we have a population of probably the city of Singapore, which is like, I don't know, must be about 3 million. And we all squashed into this little piece of New Zealand in the North Island. So we enjoy, well, good weather most times, but, at the moment, we're going through all sorts. So old Tāwhiri Mātea, the god of the wind and the rain and the sun. Well, Tamanui Te Rā is the god of the sun, but they can't be happy with what's going on land. So we haven't had very good weather, and it doesn't look like it's easing up either. But anyway, we can't keep talking about the weather at night because, hey, it's now dark. So let's move up. Now, at this stage, I just want to talk about the redemptions again, because, like I said last night, and I'm sure some people still don't know, that redemption has been extended. Whoopie do. Now, that means a lot for a lot of people, especially those who have been sitting and watching on the side, those people who are not sure whether they want to be in the mix with the rest of us, doing our thing and growing TBC, or whether they still want to sit there over the fence and watch us. My advice to you is jump over the fence and join us. Help us grow. I mean, we need your help. We need your awhina. We need you to tautoko us in what we're doing. We need your support. So, change your mindset. Go back to the one you got into TBC with. I'm sure it was brilliant then. I'm sure you had better ideas about where you were heading, and then all of a sudden you've changed. Well, I suggest you go back and change that and get back into it like we are and we continue to do. Okay, I'm going to take you at this stage over to the blog, because we've got some new information to share. And I know a lot of people have been hanging out for a whole lot of information on various things, and it's been slowly coming. So here we go. November redemption period will be extended until January the 31st, 2019 for those qualified. I like the way they've added that, for those qualified. So it's official. It's saying so in the blog. And what's the rule of thumb? If you don't see it in the blog, it's a scam. Well, it's in the blog. It's not a scam. You notice that everybody had to poll. I had to post votes. And of course, people like us who voted for January the 31st, 2019, came out on top. Now, it's not to say, hey, you jump up and down for joy. No, what it means is you start getting in, you stop mucking around, and you start doing it. You know, get in there, do what you need to do, which is get in for more cookie rewards. You've got 10 button meetings happening Tuesday mornings in New Zealand and Wednesday mornings in New Zealand. So, they're there. Admin is handing it to you on a plate. Do you want it that way, or do you want to go and work hard for it? I suggest you go to the 10 button meeting and get in for them, because you can't get them any other way, and they're free at that. Free for the taking. I just can't believe the people who don't understand the word free cookie rewards when it comes to 10 button meetings. What don't they understand? Are they not able to read, or they just don't want to read the blog? Maybe. Well, they need chicken up from the neck up. And, they're letting their teams down. If they've got people underneath them and they're supposed to be looking after them, well, they can't, in my book, they're not doing a good job. No. So they need to pull thumb or pull finger, whichever, and get in and help their downlines or help their whānau that are not even in TBC yet. Get them in. There's no big explaining things. No, it's not a big deal to explain things about TBC to them. They can come, get them into it, and they can come and learn. And I know some will and some won't. So what? We educate them. That's what the so what is. We educate them so they totally understand what it's all about and where they're heading with TBC. Okay. Now, admin would like to thank the members that participated in the poll about extending the November redemption period. The poll question was, which state will result in greater community growth to close the November redemption period? And the larger part of the TBC community answered that a January 31st ending of the November redemption period would result in greater community growth. I mostly agree with the poll result. But as you can see, the second place poll said it would be best to end on November the 30th, 2018. And I understand why these members think it should end then. Only during a redemption period can people all around the world become instant TBC millionaires. Everyone wants to become a millionaire. And we provide a solid path ahead to make that happen. Outside of a redemption period, members only get cookies which are not spendable or transferable. Yet the time in between redemption periods allows us, as a community, the time to educate our newest members properly before they can have access to an abundance of coins that are spendable. The education is priceless. Without the education, chaos develops due to misunderstanding and ignorance. The main problem with extending is that some new members don't understand the value of completing a transaction with their sponsors. Without members going out there sponsoring new members, TBC doesn't grow. So can you see the problem there? So it really is up to us to, to help make TBC grow. So we don't have that problem. I need to balance the feelings of the new members with the thinking of the old. I'm not referring to senior citizens, members, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to run a special holiday promotion during this time, the same 2-month extension period. That requires a minimum transaction by the new members coming in to access the extension. Wow. In other words, no transaction equals no extension. Sponsors need to be compensated to keep the balance and ensure ongoing community growth. I hope everyone can appreciate what I am doing here. Generally, we are inviting the 4 billion working class to join us in the TBC community. When you closely examine this group, it is alarming that about 50% of them earn less than 4 grain in a day of work. That is poverty. 50% earn less than 4 grain in a day of work. That is poverty. Wow. We are on a mission to end poverty globally, and we must take this fact into account. Asking people that only make 4 grain a day to come up with 40 grain can seem impossible to some of these poor people. So, this holiday promotion will be a tiered system that allows members to collect cookies for doing transactions as small as 4 grain. Now, does anybody know how much 4 grain is? 4 grain. Well, it's $10 US. And yes, admin is right. There are some countries where people are lucky to earn $10 a month. I know one country for sure because I have friends in that country and they're all speaking the same language. They all speak about the same thing, the same issues they have regarding poverty and how much they earn in a day. You know, they can work for a month and earn what others in other countries earn in a day. That's so sad. So we are on a mission to end poverty globally. And, admin has said that from day one. And we must take this fact into account. Asking people that only make 4 grain a day to come up with 40 grain can seem impossible to some of these poor people. And yes, throughout our TBC journey, we found that hard to believe when we heard about it. But when you hear, the people saying it, those who it actually affects, and they speak, with total emotion about how they earn that amount in a month. I admire those people. They're survivors in this world. So how can you blame them for wanting to get into TBC? Yes. A 4 grain transaction will be the minimum required in order to redeem cookies during the extended redemption period. Wow. If you have already done a transaction of 4 grain or higher, then you don't have to do another transaction in order to redeem cookies during this extension period. Also, I am not referring to the admin fee of 4 grain. That is separated and also required in order to have a send button. The tiers will be 4 grain, 8 grain, 12 grain, 16 grain, 20 grain, 24 grain, 28 grain, 32 grain, 36 grain, and 40 grain. You will learn more about this holiday promotion before December the 1st. So that's probably in about a week and a bit to go, and you will hear all about that in the blog. Our favourite Bible reading centre, because that is what the blog is. It's the TBC Bible. This is an exciting time in TBC, and we want to keep everything balanced for all. Of course, makes sense. So, in saying all that, they've allowed us to do later in January based on those grain, that tiers of grain that we need to be looking at moving forward. So between now and December the 1st, it's good practice to start getting, your number crunching together regarding grains of gold and how those figures fit into those equations. Okay, because you're going to have to be able to talk to people about those transactions. So that is good news, number one. Okay. Now, also, it's popped up that people must be having problems. There must be a problem with people trying to contact the commissioner and why you contact the commissioner. So, in the blog too, you can also go back and reference this, and it's how and when to contact the commissioner. So, to the TBC community, that's all of us, or as we put it today, Tibetians, fellow Tibetians, how and when to contact the commissioner. Now, you really need to know this because you've got people outside of your country, in your downline or in your team. They have, their level of understanding can be, way less than you expect. And because some of them are non-English speaking countries, there is that difficulty with communication on these sorts of issues. So, the cases where you should contact the commissioner, if you plan to send a large transaction totaling more than 40,000 grain, it is your responsibility, if you're going to send that much in crinkles, that you document your exchange and notify the commissioner of this exchange. It's also important to understand that you do not need the commissioner's approval to do this transaction. Go ahead and complete the transaction. All that is required is to notify the commissioner help desk of the transaction, share any documentation, any paperwork that goes with your transaction, like proof of payment that has been made for that particular transaction, and what it was you purchased if you are going to purchase something for that amount or more. If you have those, it makes it, plain sailing for you when the commissioner comes to see you or sends you an email asking, please explain. All that is required to notify the commissioner Halpty of the transaction. Share documentation if possible. And follow up once the transaction is complete. You'll get a response from the commissioner to proceed if you have not already done so, and to be reminded to keep your documentation on the exchange of TBC Kringles. So always keep copies of whatever documentation you need to use in that transaction. Warning: if you send a large transaction such as described above and do not contact the commissioner before you do the transaction, both the sender and the recipient, that is the receiver, will have the send button turned off until investigation is completed. Be proactive and contact the commissioner if you plan to do large transactions. Save all the hassles. Save any problems happening. Only open one ticket and be sure to reply to the ticket. Opening multiple tickets on the same topic or multiple topics at once will result in your information being lost or not responded to properly. So if you have documentation, it's a good thing when you send your support ticket to the commissioner regarding your transaction. It's good to have the ticket number that you have been issued with for the inquiry into that transaction. Write that on your documentation. So when the inquiry happens and you are looking through your paperwork, you know exactly which one applies to the ticket in question. Okay? So it's almost like filing. But you do get a ticket from support or the commissioner. You do get a number given to you. Always write that number on the documentation that responds to that ticket. If you're a victim of fraud, scam, or theft, now listen carefully. If you are a victim of fraud, scam, or theft, the Commissioner's Office does investigate these cases to the best of our ability. It's important to not burden the help desk with fraud issues. They'll forward you to the Commissioner directly. Document your situation and case, and remember, if you give or have given out your credentials to anyone, you're making a mistake. The help desk and the commissioner will never ask for your credentials. Beware that fraudsters are out there to take advantage of you. If you are unsure if an email or website is fraud, why not send a note to the commissioner for advice? Resolution to fraud cases will greatly depend on the situation. You should never give your credentials to anyone expecting them to steward your account or exchange on your behalf. That is true. I have seen quite a few people that have had that happen to them, and it's come from something that you wouldn't even know. You know, you've started it. So these things do happen. The TBC009.net wallet, which is our new wallet, is encrypted, and the help desk or the commissioner do not have access to your security answers or your password. The only way for someone to get this information is by not keeping your credentials safe. Provide as much detail as possible. Only open one ticket and be sure to reply to the ticket. Opening multiple tickets on the same topic or multiple topics at once will result in your information being lost or not responded to properly. So, one ticket, one kaupapa, okay? One ticket, one issue, or one topic, not a whole lot of topics thrown on the one ticket. Because, well, what happens is you send off the first ticket, and like everyone, when you haven't heard within the next hour, then you start to get into panic mode and you start wanting to send off all the same, a whole lot of tickets for the same thing. Well, you're not doing your ticket any justice by doing that. Because support or the commissioner do respond to your original ticket. And it's usually the majority of the time it's an automated ticket. And it's an automated reply, to that ticket. But they also put at the end of that they are looking like they've sent it to the appropriate division for to be checked, which means where you have sent it to, they feel that it's an issue to be handled by someone else in admin. So it goes to that person. And they've already done that. They don't need you to go in and do another ticket. Okay? The cases where the commissioner contacts you, the commissioner receives a daily report of transactions conducted at 40 grain in one single transaction or more, and multiple transactions totaling 200 grain or more each day. You will be sent an email requesting you contact the commissioner to explain the nature of your transactions and provide documentation of the exchange occurring at the daily price to prevent discounting. You are required to respond to this inquiry through the Commissioner Help Desk, not the Kringle.cash Help Desk. Details on how to contact the Commissioner are provided, as well as instructions to not reply to that email, but rather follow the instructions in the email. If you ignore this message and continue to conduct transactions without documentation, your send button and your recipient's send button will be suspended until you comply. Only open one ticket and be sure to reply to the ticket. Opening multiple tickets on the same topic or multiple topics at once will result in your information being lost or not responded to properly. So you can contact the commissioner here So here's the first contact, and you can also have one sent to help@kringlecommissioner on.buzzworks.com. Be sure to include your email address, wallet address, and all relevant information. Tickets missing, this information will be delayed in resolution. So, the first thing is your email address, because everything is linked at TBC and your Kringle back office to your email address and to your wallet. Abuse of the Commissioner Help Desk will be grounds for having your access to the help desk blocked. Do not contact the Commissioner for password, cookie issues, complaints, or suggestions. Kringle.cash issues or other help desk matters. You will be referred back to the help desk. Talk to your sponsor or your upline about these issues. If you are lost and you don't know what to do, talk to them. And then they should help guide you to where you should be. You may be asked to prove that you are who you say you are. In that case, the Commissioner will direct you with what information to provide. Lastly, the Commissioner can only help you. Any of your referrals or other parties will have to contact the Commissioner themselves. The policy is strictly for you and by you. Thank you for your cooperation. The Commissioner. So that's the blog from the Commissioner. Okay? And that is, information that has been a long time coming because they've changed things around over the last few, like in the last 6 months, things have changed. And they have changed all that. So it's a good thing for them to post that up in the blog right now so that we, can all be on the same page about how we deal with our transactions. And folks, that is me for the night. It's been quite an eventful night tonight, having had our Bill. Congratulations to Bill Kanara. Wow, Crypto Candle, as we call him, for his first live broadcast. And didn't he do well? I mean, he did it all on his own. All we provided was the lappy because he was having problems with his phone and trying to get his broadcast going. So, high fives to Bill. Wherever you are, Bill. He's probably on his way home, driving home. Happy as Larry.
No, still here.
But to those, watching, Brother Israel, Brother Pratish, and Sister Carol, thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm here kia koutou. Ko tāmaki konei I tēnei pō ki te tautoko I enei mahi tū momo mahi a tāhua. This is brilliant. Brilliant to be able to broadcast and brilliant to have brilliant people watching. So, my question is, who's the next first broadcast to happen? Let's wait and see. So, until tomorrow night, Apōpō, we will catch up with you again. So, noho ora mai koutou ki kona, ki o kainga, kia tūpato te haere, te hoki ki tō kainga, Stay safe and keep cool. Ka kite.